Hello everyone. In this one we're going to be talking about the best way that you can defeat a narcissist. Because I think there is a lot of confusion in these online communities about how we are meant to do that. Many of us mistake defeating a narcissist so much with our personal success, whether it is academically, financially, or sometimes even just going to the gym, working out, and trying to look as good as we can. But you got to think about, why are you doing that? What are you trying to prove? Are you just doing these things to try and prove something to the narcissist? You want to look a certain way. You want to get a good job, earn a certain amount of money, just to show the narcissist that you can do fine without them. Because if that's the reason why, you're still playing their game. You're still seeking their validation. And of course, that is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to keep chasing after them. Even if you are chasing after them through your career or through working out and trying to look better. Because by doing these things, you're not really rebuilding your own self-image. You are just reinforcing everything that they said to you, everything that they led you to believe about yourself. And you're just trying to compensate for those insecurities, those deficiencies that they led you to believe that you have. So while you may think that you're getting away from them by you seemingly chasing something else, whether it is a better job, a better life for yourself, or even to look better physically. While you may think that you're getting away from them by chasing after those things, you're actually playing right into their hands. And so this is what we've got to talk about. And that's not to say that working hard, making good money, looking good, it's not to say that these things are bad. But maybe it is best to revise some of these ideas about defeating a narcissist or taking revenge. Because honestly, by doing these things, it's just still making them feel like they matter. The best thing that you can do after leaving a narcissist, as I mentioned in one of my top videos with the most views, how to make a narcissist obsessed with you. The best way to do it is to not change anything about yourself. It's to remain the same. Because honestly, I can tell you this, even if you hit it big, even if you won the lottery and things just suddenly got better for you and you're working out, you're looking good, everything. When the narcissist sees these extreme changes, they see it as though you're just trying to get their attention, or you're trying to get someone else's attention because they succeeded in making you insecure, in making you feel less than yourself. Because that's just it. Someone who's truly confident in themselves, someone who hasn't been defeated, broken down, doesn't have anything to prove to anyone, doesn't need to make any drastic changes. And that's how you know that you have won, when you no longer have anything to prove, not only to the narcissist, but to anyone else. And the narcissist will feel that when they see that you're just not interested in that anymore. And so this is really a better way to look at it, of defeating a narcissist once and for all. Of course, you've got to go no contact. You've got to cut off that supply, because as long as they have access to you, they are feeding from you. It's doing something for them. It's fueling them. It's validating their illusion. Even if you think that it's not, even if you think that you're doing something that's contrary to their interests. You know how narcissists, they're always in denial. They twist, they rationalize everything so that it validates their false narrative. It supports their illusion. So whatever you're doing, whatever you think you're trying to prove to them, it gets distorted in their minds so that it makes them feel better. It's not ever going to be something where you're making them feel insecure unless you really just aren't doing anything. At least not making any extreme changes. At least not that are visible to them. You don't want to be putting on a show for them. Because if you're doing that to them, it just tells them that you're still insecure after everything they did to you. You're still not feeling too good about yourself. And that's why it's best to really just go quietly and not make too much of a scene. And I know this may sound counterintuitive, and it may seem like something you really don't want to do after everything they did to you. You may feel like, yeah, I want to prove a point to them. I want to show them that actually, no, I'm so much better than what you thought I was. But they're never going to see it that way anyway. No matter how well you do in life, no matter how much you change and improve, they're never going to see it as though, yes, you finally did it. You achieved something profound, you succeeded, you proved them wrong. No narcissist is ever going to think that way. They're never going to see it as though you proved them wrong. It doesn't matter what you become or what you do. It's just the nature of that disorder that they live in denial to support their grandiosity, to feel better about themselves. And it's just never going to be any different. So nothing that you do following the discard is going to change their mind about anything. Yes, sometimes they may feel some regret. They may feel a sense of loss, especially if you go in no contact. And yeah, even if they see you succeeding without them, they're going to feel like they may have lost something there. But they're still going to be in denial about it. They're still going to push back against it. And even then, they may just hoover you. They may just try and come back to sabotage your success. So it's really a waste of time trying to prove anything to them. You're just playing their game. And it's a game that you will never win, because the game is rigged. It's set up in their favor at all costs. It's solely designed to protect their fragile ego, their fragile sense of self-esteem. So no matter who you are, no matter what you do, no matter what you achieve, it's not going to make a difference. It's never going to be good enough to change their perception of you. I mean, yeah, they may re-idealize you for a moment. They may come back with a love bombing, but they're not really seeing you any differently. It's just in that moment, they may be low on supply. So they'll come back and they'll love bomb you for a moment, It's all just self-serving. It's just to feel better about themselves by re-idealizing you. Give it time. They will go back to the devaluation. And it's going to be worse than it was the last time because they never change. They only get worse. No narcissist is ever going to change. No narcissist is ever going to see you the way that you may want them to see you. The way that they should see you. Or an accurate depiction of you. It's just never going to happen. Because for them to do that, they would then have to accept their own flaws, their own shortcomings, their own mistakes. And that's just something that no narcissist is ever going to do. So going about it in that way, trying to get revenge, trying to defeat a narcissist by going off, becoming successful, becoming the best version of yourself. If that's just to try and prove something to them, you're wasting your time. It's just going to make them more mad, or they're going to come back, re-idealize you, sabotage you all over again, try and show you every reason why you're not really happy without them, or how you can do better. That's all that it's going to be. And, you know, again, I get it. You may want to prove something to them. You may want to show them. And you may feel like I'm not on your side here. But I'm just telling you this because this is just how it is. And I'm sure some of you who may have tried this already, you may have wanted to prove something to them and show them that you're not who they thought you were, and that you can do better without them. And those of you who may have done that, I'm sure you can tell us in the live chat or in the comment section how that turned out. As I already know myself, because I tried that before as well, to try and show them that I'm not the bad person that they thought I was. Because this is what they have to do. They have to villainize us, devalue us, look down on us. We can never be good enough in their eyes because it triggers them to reflect their own insecurities. So this is why. And this is why we talk about no contact, because that's really the only thing you can do. It's really the only thing that's going to help you. And yes, at the same time, you will be defeating them by going no contact, by taking away their supply. And especially by not seeking their validation. Don't make everything you're doing about trying to prove something to them. You're never going to get it. It's never going to be that way. They're never going to see you. They're never going to appreciate you. They're never going to care about you in the way that you may want them to. And that's just the truth. Because again, you know, for them to do that, they would have to accept their own flaws, their own shortcomings, their own insecurities. They would have to accept the way that they've treated you up until that point and realize that it wasn't right, it wasn't justified. And this is just it, you know. Deep down, they already know that. They already know that what they're doing is wrong, how they treated you is wrong. And the reason why they push so hard against it, the reason for that is because there is some underlying insecurity there. I guess they do know that how they've been behaving towards you is not right, and that you're not deserving of that type of treatment. They know that you deserve better than that, and yet they keep going with it because it's easier, rather than for them to stop and go within and accept that they've been making a big mistake for a very long time. And this is why they get so aggressive towards the end. Because the last thing they want to do is to just stop and go within themselves and accept their part in this. And so, yeah, it's really a waste of time seeking validation from a narcissist. That's not going to help you. It's not going to be a way to defeat them or to take revenge. I mean, it might initially, for a moment, yeah. I mean, the short term, it could be something where you're working out and you post a picture online, or you buy a new car or something. It might wind them up initially. But again, they're going to distort it in their minds. They're going to see it differently to protect their fragile egos. And if they struggle to do that, then they may try and sabotage you, they may smear you, they will do something to just ease the pain that it's causing them. And of course, they can't deal with that internally, so they're going to have to affect you in some way. So all you're doing when you're putting this stuff out there, when you're showing them your happiness, your success, you're just making them even more mad. And then they're going to come back and take it out on you. It doesn't work. It's not the right way to go about it, not with a narcissist. And I don't want any of you to have to suffer any more than you already have. And this is why I say, go no contact, stop seeking validation from them, don't try to prove anything to them, and just be silent. Yes, of course, focus on your happiness and success. Just don't share it with them. Do not share your accomplishments, your happiness, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. Don't share any of that with them. You're just giving them more ammo. And sometimes, just by you being quiet, just by you not sharing anything with them, by you not reacting to them, that can just end up exposing them by itself. It can trigger them to react. Just by you going off on your own and not trying to prove anything to them, that can trigger them to lash out. And it's going to look really bad on them. Because it's like, why are they trying to do that with you when you're not causing trouble to anyone? You're not doing anything to them. So sometimes just by you going your own way, forgetting about them, that can end up exposing them anyway. So yeah, just focus on rebuilding your self-worth. Focus on yourself, focus on what you need to do. Forget about them. Don't keep getting into it with them. Don't feed into the drama and chaos. Don't play their game. And let karma do the rest. Because I've talked about this a lot in my recent videos, how it will come back to get them. Their behavior, it will affect them. And you just got to think about it like this, right? Those actions, those behaviors, that came from their vessel. It came from their body, their minds. They're sick. They're messed up. How can someone with a sick mind produce anything good, especially long term? How can someone who did those things to you produce good fruits following your departure while you're not there to supply them, fuel them, and make them feel like they're a good person when in reality they're not? Because that's all that you're doing when you're there. When you're still with them, when you're still in contact, when you're giving them supply. You know what the whole purpose of that is? When they were manipulating you initially, love bombing you, idealizing you, getting you to feed their ego. When they were devaluing you, putting you down, insulting you, making you feel like you're not good enough. It's all to get you on the same wavelength as where they want to be, so that you validate them and then you fool them to feel like there's nothing wrong with them. So it's kind of like, they have this sickness never goes away. But it's kind of like you are their medicine. It doesn't solve the root cause of the problem, but what you do as their source of supply is that you relieve their symptoms temporarily. And by doing that, it helps them to perform better. So by you cutting off the supply, going no contact, it then allows them to experience their karma. They are constantly running from their karma. This is why they need supply. Supply helps them to run away from the karma. But they'll never get away from it. It will always catch up to them. And sometimes, and this is why you have to be very careful, because the karma can also affect people who are close to them. So if you are with a narcissist, their karma can affect you too. And this is why you have to be very careful, because it's going to hunt them down. And if you are near them, you will get caught in the crossfire. And that's not to say that you won't experience some rewards later on. I believe that you will if you were affected by someone else's karma and it was not your fault, you didn't deserve it. But yeah, I believe at some point good things will come back to you. Because it's not your fault, you didn't know. But yeah, be aware of this, because they're constantly seeking new supply. They're constantly trying to find someone who can absorb the blow for them. And this is why when we're around them, all of these things start happening to us. Because we're taking on most of their karma for them. But yeah, they will get it in the end. And I can guarantee that. And, some of you may just want to know when is it going to happen to them? When are they going to get what they deserve? When are they going to get their just desserts? And you may be watching and waiting, looking on their social media, waiting to see something. But that's just it, you're not going to see it. Because they want you to think that you were the problem, and that they're doing so much better now without you. But you just have to remember how they treated you. Think about it. Someone who is happy, doing good, they're not going to be treating you that way. So this reveals that they already are suffering from their karma. They already were, even while they were with you. It's just they pushed most of it onto you, and then you were going through it. But that's why they were treating you that way. They were already dealing with the karma from their past sources of supply. The things that they did to other people before you. And so you just have to remember all of those things that they did. And you really think someone like that, after they treated you that way, that they're going to go off somewhere else and they're going to be doing good? It's just not going to happen. Remember, that's a part of their vessel. That's their twisted mind. It's not going to get them anywhere good. It's like if you have a car with a faulty engine. This is happening in their brains. Their brains are driving them. it's not going to get them very far. And in some cases, you know, some narcissists, they do end up going within. It's very rare, but it can happen, and they do change, they do heal, they do grow. It's highly unlikely that that will happen with your narcissist because it is rare. But sometimes it does happen. But yeah, you know, the best way for you to defeat them is for you to go no contact. Stop seeking validation from them. Rebuild your self-worth and just let karma do the rest. You've got to have faith in a higher power. And trust your intuition. I mean, you should know what's right and what's not right. You should know that how they treated you was not good. And if you know that, then you shouldn't have to worry about anything. And if you know that you did the best that you could do, then what have you got to worry about? And that's just how you got to see it. So I hope that helps. And I will have a new video premiering as well. It's at 1 a.m. Philippines time. I think it's 11 a.m. EST. So yeah, it's a good video. I've just been editing it all day today. Looking forward to share it with you. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. It helps the algorithm as I read your comments every day. If you're new here, subscribe, click on notifications. That way you will be notified when I go live again. Your donations are greatly appreciated, no matter how small. You can donate by going to my PayPal. It's paypal.me/Narc Survivor. If you would like guidance and support in your healing journey, you can book a one-on-one with me by going to my website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. The link is down below in the live chat there. Thank you, Sentimental87. And also, I am available on Instagram. I've just been uploading some short videos on there today. My Instagram is Narc Survivor YouTube. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thank you all for joining me on another live video, and I will talk to you soon.